Hey guys, what's up? Eddie Aho here with KissAnalog.com. Today, well, I got a package a couple days ago and I haven't even opened up. I think this is a generator, and I've been so busy lately getting so many emails and just have, can't even tell you all the stuff that's been going on. But anyway, let's open this up, see what's in it, okay? Everybody have a little bit of a Australian in them, right? I don't know what that means, but I think you guys might know. Anyway, yeah. Let's see. You can tell it's wrapped well. Labels on the other side. Yeah, we'll see what this is. And this plastic they use is pretty tough plastic. I think my knife's fairly sharp, but man. So let's see what generator this is, and I'll show you the cost of this and all that. But I remember when I got an email asking if I wanted to review this, and I thought, wow, it looked like a really cool generator, and it's been a little bit of time, a couple weeks at least or something. A lot of stuff's been going on. So as a matter of fact, you know, channel is starting to grow a little bit, and I've had some people asking for advertisements, and I haven't followed up really on those, and I guess I should, because I could use the money to buy cool stuff like this. So anyway, yeah, so it looked like a good generator, and I like to kind of look at the products that people want to send me, and so far everything that someone has wanted to send me I wanted to look at, because it looked like it was a well-made product, and especially at the cost point I thought, man, you know, so it's a function generator. It's a, you know, arbitrary waveform generator, like pretty much all function generators are these days. Alright guys, so here is the box. Take that glare off, maybe try, and show the things. It's a signal generator there, but okay, there's, I kind of zoomed in on all the icons on this side, so that's kind of the marketing, all the cool stuff about this. Firmware update, I don't know if that means it does it online. Hopefully that'd be cool. That'd be cool if it hooks up to my internet. Mobile phone remote control, that's really neat. Synchronous outputs. Flexible trigger method, that's interesting. Alright guys, when you open it up, you get the little foam insert and USB, the quick guide, which it's actually a pretty nice guide. Oh, look at this, they're showing you the phone interface, the app, so that's neat. I'll have to download the app so I can show you that too. This little pocket has these guys, BNC to alligators. It has BNC to BNC, and it has the power cord. And it actually looks like a pretty nice power cord. It does say it's VDE, so I don't know if that, I mean, that's kind of like an agency certification, so yeah, but it does seem like a pretty nice gauge for kind of a low-powered instrument. This was actually in the plastic bag, which I did not put back in, sitting right here. So, yeah, that's the box, and that's what the instrument looks like. Let's power it up to show you what the back looks like. Yeah, it has the USB, this DC port, so it has various ways to power it up. Maybe this is lower noise. We might have to test that. And then a sync and your switch. Doesn't look. It says fuse, but it must be internal, because I don't see how you pop it out. All right, on the back there's a hard switch, and on the front the soft switch, so turn it on. Wow, it pops up pretty fast. English, let's choose that. It must have went through a setup and either turned itself off or whatever, but okay, that's a nice display. Shows you what you're doing. 5 volts peak to peak, 0 volts DC offset, duty cycles 50, phases 0. Shows both, and this one's kind of highlighted, so I guess we'd go channel 2 to, yep, channel 2, just toggle between. So it's pretty intuitive how you control it. And here's a memory function. Wow. Okay. I'm going to exit that. And then, what does this say? Inbox. Okay. Guys, I'm going to have to read, and I'll come back and show you all these things. But inbox and shift, so that's pretty obvious. Shift would do. But yeah, then you can see on, off, so you can turn off the channels. You have to go, first you have to select the channel, and then you can say on, off. So off, and then come down here on, whoops. So come down here, say off, or well, now we're selected, we're off, now on, off. Okay, we have a measurement thing, so that's interesting. We have a system button, brightness, language, wow, a bunch of things we can set up. Here's our modulation. Oh, let's get out of setup. Modulation, wow, look at that. Voltage control oscillator. And then choosing the kind of waves. You got all these waves here. And sweep. And output turns them both on or both off. So yeah, you can do it individually or do it that way. Oh, turn them on. And then yeah, there we go. So even if you do it, yeah, it turns them both on, then you can turn them off individually. And then we have this way, select different things. Wow, okay. Showing all the different waves. Yeah, it's showing all the different waves here. So pretty nice. And then I can go scroll through it this way too. So lots of different waves in there. Alright guys, I'll take a look at the manual, come back, and we'll play with it. Okay guys, so I think I got this set up. Here, let's turn it on. The switch on back's on, so this little soft switch turns on pretty quick. And it's interesting, the waveform, you know, I think that's a programmed thing you can do so that it turns on when it comes up or off. So let's go to systems and see if that is something we can set. Okay, that just goes to, there's the firmware revision and everything that we have. But I don't see a thing in system that I can set that up. Because I would think that I could, now this page down, okay, here we go, waveform sync, and look, recover to default. That's interesting. Auto power on is off, but it came on when I turned it on, so that seems strange. Oh, maybe I just reset it. I don't remember turning that on myself though. That's kind of strange. Here, let's turn it off, and we'll turn it back on. Yeah, it turns them on. So I could experiment with that and see how to make that stay off when it comes up, because I like to turn them on, you know, power up without the output turning on, right? Okay, so right now they're both 5 volts. They're both 50% duty cycle, offset. Well, it's a sine wave, so it's grayed out duty cycle because you can't really change that. And here, let's turn them on so you can see both channels. Here, I'll increase the waveform. See, there's one channel, so they're just laying on top of each other. And they're still on top. So you know what we can do, so I can show both channels at one time, is I can go to phase. I can do this phase thing right here, and let's just dial in the phase. Okay, 1, move that over, go up a lot faster, go to 180. There we go. So they're 180 out of phase with each other. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Let's do amplitude. Let's see how high of amplitude we can go. Move that arrow over. Okay. Move it over again. Okay, 25. Okay, 25 volts peak to peak. That's okay, that's where it maxes out. Okay, and then here, so one of them's 25 volts, the other one's still 5. I guess that's fine, right? Here, let's go channel 2 and play with that one. Let's try changing a wave. Okay, there's a sine wave. Here we go, there's square wave. And let's see, pulse. You don't really notice the difference. You don't really notice the difference unless you change duty cycle. Let's just do that. Let's change it to like 70, or how about 90? Wow, look at that. So there's 90% duty cycle. Okay, that's interesting. Let's go back to waves. See what other kind of waves we have. Triangle. 50% duty cycle is grayed out because triangles are 50%. Oh, but look at that ramp. And it defaults to the 90% that I had selected before. So you get this long ramp and then a drop. Long ramp. So it's more like a sawtooth, right? Okay. There we go. CMOS. So we got little bits. Little 5 volt on-off cycles. And there's DC, just straight line. We can play with the offset and adjust that up and down. And wow, look at that. DEV sign. And half wave. Whoops. What's going on here? You got a trigger on that sign, that top waveform. Alright, and then what else we got? Positive ladder, negative ladder, positive trapezoid and negative trapezoid, and noise. That's cool. Exponential rise, exponential fall, log rise, log fall, and there's that sync. And multitone. That's a pretty cool one. Have to try that with audio. Look, the FFT. Lorenz. And these are internal waves. So you got a bunch of waves you can install. And then you've got a bunch of arbitrary waveforms you can design. So, hey, you know what? On square wave, let's look at something here. Let's just spread this out and see what that rise time is. Look, there's some overshoot. That could be, I wonder if that's my scope probe. I wonder if I'm not positive. You know what? I have, alright, so anyway, let's see, where are we? 2 nanoseconds. So 2, 4, 6, maybe 8 nanoseconds where it overshoots. So 6 or 8 nanosecond rise time. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's my probe or not. You know what we ought to do? Let's go to channel 1 and make that a square wave. Okay, now we got 2 square waves. Okay. So one's fall time and one's rise time. And we're triggering over here, so it looks like the fall time, there's a little bit of, I think that's dithering, where it's, you know, one time it's falling here, the next time it's falling there. Okay, that's 2 nanoseconds per division. So that's kind of interesting. It's got a little bit of, you know, where the wave shape's not perfectly square every time. So what I want to do is go to trigger. Okay, what I want to do is just trigger on the on channel 4. So we're triggering on the purple one. Let's switch over. Got to position this over this way. And the other channel looks more solid, right? The purple one. Like we're triggering on the rising edge here, and this one's hitting the same spot every time. But if I go back to, yeah, that's kind of interesting, I think. So it looks like one of the channels has a little bit of dithering. Now, let's see, I got 10 kilohertz. This is a 10K. Let's go to a higher frequency. We're going to max it out, I think. Okay, there's 80 megahertz. Channel 1's going to the green output, and channel 2 is the purple one. So let's make, here, let's go to channel 2 and increase its frequency. Okay, now we've got 80 meg on both. And by the way, those square waves look sinusoidal now. So 80 megahertz is good for sine waves, but not square waves. The specs on this, I'm sure, would tell us what frequency the square wave will put out. So let's just check ourselves. Oh, there it is. See, the purple one's starting to look a little more square. Okay, that's 10 meg. Okay, there's 5 meg. So 5 meg's starting to look better. And there's 1 meg. Now check that out. When I turn off the other channel, that ripple, I thought it was the square wave coming into play, but it's not. Look at that. We got a little crosstalk. I've got these cables just laying on top of each other. So I'll separate them, see if that fixes it. Nope. So that's not too hot, right? So if you have both channels on, yeah. So channel 1 bleeds into channel 2. Huh, that's interesting. I wonder if I change it to a sine wave, if it still bleeds in. Yeah, sure does. Boy, that's something to be aware of. I'm going to make them both sine wave and see what they look like. Yeah, either way, a little bit of bleeding. Yeah, so that's kind of crazy, right? Okay, I was playing around with the amplitude. I was just kind of playing around to see if I could clean it up, but I'm using scope probes on the end of the clips like that, which isn't the best, but it shouldn't be doing this. So, but that's kind of interesting. Now, another thing, the amplitude maxes out at 3.6 volts peak to peak at 80 megahertz. Okay, I'm going to drop them both down to 1 megahertz. I don't know. I mean, I can't tell now because of their same frequency, right? So I'll make one of them 10K. Let's make this one 10K. Alright guys, here I'm going to move this waveform up a little bit so you can see it. But I don't see 1 megahertz. I don't see this 1 megahertz coupling into the 10K. That looks pretty clean. It seemed like it was just when I'm maxed out at 80 megahertz that I got that bleed from one channel to the other. Alright guys, so I did a little experimentation. I just took a BNC to BNC and I went from channel 1 right into the scope, and let's see, and you can see a little bit of you can see a little bit of that fuzziness right on top. And I think it's these BNC cables actually. If they don't make a tight connection, then I kind of see it. And if I turn off channel 2, it goes away. If I turn it on, it's almost like the shielding right here. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's just me touching or whatever, but here I'll increase that amplitude, and then I'll move the wave down so you can see it. So that's more obvious that way probably. There you go. That's more obvious, right? And if you notice when I play with this and get it dropped down, so it's almost like, and it's not on the mixed sig scope side, it's when I move this side. Now these are the cables that came with it, so I'm going to grab a better cable and see if that goes away. But yeah, you can see when I turn off that channel, it goes. And now this one, by the way, is just laying here, okay? So if I take it off, okay, look at that. But if I put it on, so yeah, there you go. You can see. That's crazy, right? Okay, here, let's switch around. I'm going to change the, alright guys, I'm going to change the waveform. So I'm going to put 1 meg on this one now. And then I'll put 80 meg up on the top one. I just want to see if they both do it. Okay, that's a fast way to do it. Just move the digits around. Alright, so BNC cable's kind of in the way a little bit. But, okay, so channel. Okay, there's a channel 2, right? Now, let me just plug this in. Yeah, there it goes. As soon as I plug it in, there's a little crosstalk between these at the high frequency. If I turn it off, it goes away. So it's I think the trouble is right here. Now, when I drop these down in frequency, it doesn't do that. I'll drop this to 10 meg. We still have 1 meg on the other one, but look, I see a little bit of something, but it's barely noticeable. Like there's 50, it starts to look more obvious. 60, so it's above 50 meg is where. So yeah, I think it's just something in the coupling right here. There's a little crosstalk over 50 megahertz. All right, guys. So what I'm doing is I've got this channel 1 here, going right to my Keithley multimeter. It's a THD multimeter. It's a 2015 model number. And I've got 3 volts peak peak, which is just a little over 1 volt RMS. So if you're doing audio, that'd be kind of a range maybe. And I'm seeing 0.63 total harmonic distortion with noise. And without noise, it didn't really change. So it's pretty much harmonics. Okay, that's 1 kilohertz. And when I take this guy out, it doesn't change at all. Okay, so that's good. So, and this one is maxed out 25 volts peak to peak, same frequency. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is increase the frequency of this channel that we're looking at THD. I'll max out 25 and I see 0.65, so it didn't really change much. So that's the THD at 1 kilohertz, plus noise, by the way. Alright, so I've got channel 2 set up at 15 megahertz. That is actually the highest frequency spec for the square wave. And, you know, it still looks pretty square, I guess, right? So, there you go. Okay, guys, so let's just take a look inside this thing. Now, there's just 4 screws. Here's the leg and here's that stand. I was just kind of showing you before. And here, let's see if I'm wondering if I have to take out these screws. Alright, took out these little screws here too to see if that will help me get into this thing. There we go. Oh, the top wants to come off. I guess I didn't have to take those 2 screws off after all. So there we go. Alright, so quick look. There's the display. There's the little chip for that, and the crystal oscillator. And then we have this Bluetooth. See the Bluetooth antenna? I got to show you that still, right? That's connected. That's a little add-on module, and there's a little buzzer right there. So they're using a black circuit board on the front panel. Kind of cool. Here's the BNC jacks where they're mounted to the card. And we got some relays here. And we have the amplifiers, I guess, underneath this heatsink right here. And we have an inductor, so I'm guessing there's a power supply there. And we have another heatsink right here. So another chip underneath there. And here's our ground for that terminal right there. And you see these 2 signals. You can see the little bus wires going down to the board. See the rest of the jacks. You can kind of see how that's done. And there's the aluminum electrolytic. So it looks like we got a little power supply here coming off of these guys. And then here's the AC power supply. Look at that little guy. So we have an EMI filter right here. I see a fuse down here, that brown thing. And then MOV, and X cap, a combo choke. And that's probably a bridge rectifier and the bulk capacitor. And there's an NTC for the charging of that bulk. And then we have probably a flyback is what I'm guessing. So the switching transistor and transformer. And it's low power, so there's no heat sinks. And then the output gets rectified. It looks like maybe 2 rectifiers, 2 outputs. And this is a Y capacitor for, common mode noise. Looks like there's another one over here next to the ground. They get strapped up to the pin right here. It looks nice and clean to me. I'll let you just take a close look so you can decide for yourself what it looks like. Alright, so just let you take a close look here and you can decide for yourself what you think of this. Alright guys, just want to show you this app. I'm connected and it took me a minute to see. You hit the search and I find BSG8019. Click on that. It connects right away. It's super fast. And I set this for 50K. Let's go 55K. So I can move the number around this way. You can see what I'm doing there. Okay. So I'm going to go 55 and then just do this dial to dial it up. Okay, I got 7 volts. Then we go 7.5. Okay. Oh look, and it's changing it on the instrument as I do it. That's really cool. Okay. Let's click this and I think I just rotate. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, look at that. You see how it's moving the waveforms around? That's really cool. Oh, here, let's turn it on. There's off, here's on. And look, I heard the relay click on and there's waveform. And yep, look at that. I can just toggle through them. This app's actually easier to use than the interface. I like this app. Oh, and then there's measurement window. So you can use it. This measurement window, you can use it as a frequency counter and all that kind of stuff. The sweep, you can set up the sweep channel 1. Well, this is how long it takes to go through a sweep. And it's 10 seconds, 1000, and 10K. Alright, so that's pretty cool. And then settings and about. And when I click on this, I don't see any software updates. So it must be 1.0, must be the most recent. So that's not bad for a first rev of a phone app, right? I think that looks pretty intuitive, pretty easy. It only took me a minute to kind of figure that out. And we're on DC right now. We'll set it to something else. Pretty cool. I think it's neat how fast it reacts. There's no delay time. Pretty cool, I think. Another player. This is an 80 meg 2-channel generator, and I think it sells for about $150 US on AliExpress, I believe. I'm going to check with these guys, see if they're going to give a discount code or something like that. I didn't see one, so I'll check with them, see if they respond before I finish editing this video. Otherwise, yeah, look for the link down below. You'll see a discount code if I got one, okay? Meanwhile, yeah, using those links helps support the channel for free, so I appreciate that. Patrons, 2 big thumbs up to patrons. Yeah, you can become a patron, links down below, or you can, I'm going to turn on the membership thing so you can become a member. So for my members and patrons, I want to do like live chat videos. I want to try doing like once a week, so I got to figure out how to do that, and maybe in the next few days, by the time you see this video, maybe a couple days after, I'll be doing one of those. So I'll send out a notice on the channel, okay? Alright guys, you know what I think I need to do is compare this to the Uni-T. Oh, my Uni-T's not on. I have to compare this to the Uni-T and to whatever brand this one was. I think it goes under Coolertron and some other brands, but yeah, I have to compare these guys against each other, kind of see how it stacks up, right? But as far as functionality and everything it does, for 150 bucks, 2 channels, 80 meg, that's pretty crazy. Now that 80 meg, that's not easy to do, so you know, that's why a lot of them are like 30 meg or 60 meg, and they squeaked out 80 meg. And I think there's a 60 meg version of this, and there's some other higher end versions that don't cost very much more money, so it's pretty interesting. I'd be tempted to buy one of those higher end ones. I think it's only like $20 or $30 more, and it just, I don't know, maybe they're not higher end, they just look like it. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and yeah, thanks Junctek. And by the way, gosh, I think they should have had somebody speaking English as a first language when they chose the name, because I think their company's Junce, J-U-N-C-E technology, and they shortened it to Junctek. May not have been the best name, but you know, John Audio Tech has fun with his Field Tech, so but yeah, maybe it's the name you won't forget, right? Yeah, I'll have to try it out, compare, you know, do a little more testing compared to these other generators to really see how it falls in place, because price-wise, it's doing a good job, I think. So let me know what you guys think. What generators do you guys use, and what testing have you done to see how good they are compared to something else? I think I want to look at the spectrum of these generators using the Omicron, the Boldy 100, you know, so that I got 24-bit resolution on that, so I should be able to get a good picture of what these generators look like. So maybe I'll do that at a few different frequencies and post a video. Let me know if you guys are interested in that, and or what you would be interested in, okay? Alright, hey, thanks. Oh, and that was my Keithley THD meter up behind the hats there. And by the way, you can, yeah, you can get a hat, t-shirt too. Links down below. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.